I'm Eric Haugen. There's my social media information. Like my videos and subscribe to my channel if this content is helpful to you. Helps me out when you do that. Today we're going to talk about how to make charts and why to make charts, but mostly how. Before we do that, I always like to. People are curious. How do you do this? How do you do this gig? Those are two Canon T5Is. Look at my toy keyboard I play with sometimes. And what pedals do I have down here? Hiwatt just sent me that. Haven't really gotten to play around with it much. But anyway, I'm using my Phase 90. I'm using my Wazacraft Chorus. It's going into one of them hand-wired, what do you call it, AC4s. The voice is being captured with a lav mic. And then the guitar is going over here, and then I sync it all up later. And what do I use? Adobe Premiere Elements. That's what I do. It's Tuesday around 12:30 in the afternoon. This video comes out on Friday. That's how the workflow goes. Okay. Why? Why do we make charts? Well, for writing, sharing, and analysis are all the reasons we would make charts. And yeah, the reason is, anyway, here's how we do it. Ready? Step one. I'll take pictures of this as I go. You should have some kind of notebook around. You make 4 lines. This is how I do it. By the way, everybody has different ways to do it. You know, I don't purport to be the guitar teacher for everybody, but, you know, any teacher would just tell you, hey, this is how I do it. So I'm just taking pictures and I'll throw them up next to me. That's step one. Those lines indicate a measure of music each. So, you know, okay, cool. That's this is without having to go to music school or anything like that, how to make charts. Then the next thing you want to do is determine the pulse of whatever it is you're playing with. So let's say, for example, in that I was playing Dancing Queen by ABBA up front there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the next chord? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that pulse is there, and that is a bit of a moving target, determining the pulse, because you could count that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you could be like, well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. But I feel like pulse, I don't know. To me, the quarter note is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So the next thing I realize is this is a longer progression. So I'm going to go ahead and add 4 more lines here. And yeah, this is super useful for, you know, because in this series, I talk about how it's a good idea to analyze songs you know, to write stuff down, to like spend the time to write stuff down and sit there and scribble, scrabble, and figure it out for yourself. Okay, so now we have 8 bars. Okay, let's go ahead and put the chords in. I'm going to just drop in on the You Can Dance. That's going to be an E. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, a C sharp 7, an F sharp minor. That's a cool chord, a B7 over D sharp, really a first inversion. D, could call that major 7, we'll just call it a D. B minor, let's call it a B minor 7. A and D over A. And you know, if you've taken a lesson with me, you've caught me doing this. Like sometimes people will be like showing me a thing they're working on, and I'm quickly scribbling down charts. Now, what a cool chord progression. So why is that useful to us? Like I said at the beginning, you know, having it in front of you makes it so much cooler for you to process it. Now that like it's sitting in front of us, you know, I can look at it, and then I could do the next step if I really wanted to. I could analyze it. Do I have a pencil? If I had a pencil, I could put the pencil above it. So I happen to know that Dancing Queen is in the key of A. So I'm going to go ahead and put Roman numeral 1 under A. And that means the D over A is 4. That means the E is the 5. And then we're dealing with, so this is video, I don't know, 19 in my series. There's secondary dominance in here. There's a C sharp 7 in there that that's really setting up the F sharp minor. So I would go ahead and call that is the 5 of 6, resolving to the 6. And then let's see, what is, now this is a weird one. The B7, that's not really in the key. That's like an unresolved secondary dominant. That is a 5 of 5 that goes nowhere. 4, 2, 1. And that's why it's handy to have made little charts so that like I have it all there in front of me to think about, to understand, because I know what we do. I know what we do. It's very tempting to passively sit and listen to people talk about things and go, yeah, I get it. That definitely does a lot, but I do think you get more work done when you have Scrabble, when you have a sketchbook. Let's take another example, because there's a little, okay, so that song, not actually a very simple song, very beautiful song. Let's go ahead and look at, sometimes chords will split bars, so here's what I mean. I don't know why. Okay, so we did disco, let's go to 80s, let's look at okay, well, stop there. Okay, that's Somebody's Baby, right? Okay, let's do the same thing. What I'm looking at is this little, look at that girl with the lights coming up in her eyes. Watch out for stuff like this. Okay, so let's do the work. Let's enter in the 4 lines. Okay. Again, I'm just going to take pictures of everything I'm doing. All right, there's the 4 lines. Let's think about that pulse. Okay, so that was G, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, B minor. Uh-oh. Sometimes chords share a bar. So yeah, you have, what was that, A over C sharp to D. Again, that charts out like that. And that's something I want to point out, that's a special consideration, that 1, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, B minor. Yeah, there it is. And then it does keep going. Where's that chorus? So fun. Oh, now hold on. Should I digress once more? Okay. Okay, let's do the work. Police, synchronicity 2. Okay, 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 Playboy. What we got? Let's put in the lines. You know, because a lot of times if you're using, Ultimate Guitar or something like that, which is an okay site, I actually recommend paying $10 a month to do guitarinstructor.com. It's much better quality material there. A, 2, again, determine the pulse. A, 2, 3, 4, A over C sharp. Oh, there's another one of those A over C sharps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you listen to that, that's really a G and a D. 5 and 4, 0 and 2. 1, 2, 3, and that's interesting. So what that really is like G, 2, 3, D, G, 2, 3, D. Sometimes I'll notate stuff like that when it is splitting the bar, but it's not splitting it evenly. I'll sometimes put in little marks like that to myself to remind myself, oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope that helps. And, you know, again, to review the reasons we do this, one is, say you're writing a song, boy, sure is helpful to have a way, a very simple way to write it down so that A, you can remember it for yourself, and maybe you can share it with other people if you're going to put it together in a band type situation. I definitely think groups of 4 is very important. I'm flashing back to my buddy Bryce Randall Bickford, great writer, great singer. I'm thinking of some of his charts where Randy is very lyrically based, great lyrics, and you know, he'd always be like, I don't know, does this chart make any sense at all? And you know, we would have to tweak it a little bit to get it to make sense for all the musicians to follow it. So I hope this helps. Randy, you know this comes from a place of love, nothing but respect. But I think musicians tend to think in groups of 4, get that pulse, determine when those chords are changing. And obviously that means, so that's for writing, and then that also means it's useful for analysis, which to me, writing and analysis, they kind of go together. If we're thinking about the way things are created, that usually makes us more creative, because we're like, you know, why did they do that? How did they come up with that? Well, maybe I'll come up with something like that. The last little thing that I'll say about this, and this is very useful, is if, you know, again, hopefully you've watched other videos in my series about keys and chords and keys, and now if we're making charts and analyzing things, that, moving the key of the song to suit your vocal range. Like, for example, and this is, such a big deal. A lot of people think they're bad singers. I am. But it also has to do with their range, that I am a baritone. So if I was going to sing, and I'm not going to sing on YouTube because I cannot, my self-esteem could not take getting trolled by 100,000 people. But, you know, okay, going back to the verse of Somebody's Baby Jackson Brown, you know, he was, 20 years old when he sang that, singing way up, you know, that chorus goes way up to, that's a high F sharp. And so a lot of times I work with students who are, you know, singing and playing, and they're like, I'm a bad singer. I'm like, not necessarily. Move the key, know your range, know that, like, I know I'm not going to comfortably get that note in my natural voice. If it was me, I'd drop that to like a 5th. I'd be going down to key of G. I'm not singing it. And so that comes into play of like being able to chart it out in one key, analyze it in that key, and go, well, I'm not going to sing it in that key. Let me move the key to where my voice is going to be able to hit the notes more comfortably. Move the song to where your voice is strong. That's a very useful thing for those of you who follow my channel who are singers. Move the song to where your voice is strong, and this comes into play for that. It's ultimately a very simple thing that we sometimes forget we can do. It's not much to this lesson, but it's actually useful concept. Thanks so much to everybody who supports me in all the ways that you do, even if it's clicking like and subscribe, because that's how my business works. I don't like to put ads on my channel because I just really think they're annoying, so I make my living by people choosing to invest in me, by people supporting me on Patreon, purchasing my PDF downloads, booking lessons with me on my website, all those things. And again, you don't have to do any of those things. Clicking like and subscribe helps because it's algorithm relevancy. That's the way the future works. Yay! As Bill and Ted would say, be excellent to each other. That includes yourself. Happy Friday, eat pizza.